Blackouts. I used to deal with blackouts all the time. And as Robin Williams used to say, it's like sleepwalking. That's what, in simple terms, a blackout is. Hi, my name is Dave. Welcome to Rebuild After Recovery. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about blackouts. And I wanted to tell you a little story about a father who has since passed away. So when I was 7 years clean and sober, before I went back out again, because I guess I just wasn't finished, I had the opportunity to go down to Attica State Prison in New York State. I was connected with a drug alcohol magazine. I was regional director of Southwestern Ontario, and they asked us to come down. So a bunch of us went down, and I went down specifically to talk about the magazine. So I went down, and I had never been into a federal penitentiary. This is the fifth roughest prison in the United States. It's about 80% African American and maybe 20% white. And you go in there. I was in a gymnasium, and on the far end of the gymnasium there was bulletproof glass, and there was a whole bunch of guards with sawed-off shotguns. And they warned us that when we go in, that we can't shake the prisoners' hands and whatever else. We're in with them in the gymnasium, and we have to be very careful what we say, because somebody went in there once and said something. They had a riot for 7 days, and you're stuck in there with them. Anyways, I met a fella, and he was in his 70s, and he arrived at Attica State Prison when he was maybe 18, 19, 20. I don't know 100% sure how old he was. And how he ended up in there, I've never, ever forgot. And I always tell this story when I do public speaking now. And it resonates with me a bit because I was a blackout drinker. He woke up one morning in the sheriff's department jail, or whatever you call it down there. He had no clue why he was there. And he asked the sheriff, he says, "Why am I here?" And the sheriff says, "You don't remember." He says, "I don't remember a thing," he said. And the sheriff says, "Well, last night there was a car accident, and you killed 5 people in a car." And he couldn't believe it. And he said, "There's no way that I could have done that." Anyways, long story short, he had a blackout. He doesn't remember anything. And you could see it in his eyes. You could see actually, you could see the tears in his eyes still at 70 years old, how choked up he was. And that's never, ever left me, because you hear about people killing people in car accidents, drinking and driving. There was one here the other night. 3 kids were killed. A 19-year-old drinking and driving. And now he's saying he doesn't remember anything. So yeah, it could be that he had a blackout. But back then, and this was, he was 21 when he went into Attica, and he was in there for life. And I would assume he has since passed away, but I never forgot about that. And that's what blackouts can do. Blackouts can do anything. You don't know what you're doing. And as Robin Williams used to say, a blackout is like sleepwalking. And when you see people sleepwalk, I used to sleepwalk, but I wouldn't remember anything. So that's just something to think about. And if this resonates with you, then subscribe to my channel. You're in the right place. Have yourself a great day.